Hi friends, it's Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're creating this modern rainbow card and it's really simple. So I didn't go into this with a big idea, at least not at this point. At this point, I just knew I wanted to use this stamp set, emboss it in white embossing powder, and then add a rainbow over top. So that's the first thing we're gonna do. Here, this first one, I'm just showing you how to emboss. If you haven't ever done that, or if you have, you know how cool of a process this is. I've taken some embossing ink, I've stamped that onto the stamp, then I've pressed down, poured the embossing powder over, and now I'm heating it with my heat gun. On this first one, I pressed really hard on the stamp and did not get a great impression. I got too much of an impression. So the next ones I don't press down as hard. You'll see that. I just kind of tap my fingers over the top and it gives a perfect impression. You will notice this stamp is well used. So some of it is stained and then some of it I guess I used black on it last, and so I had a really tough time getting all that black off, but the good news is I was using white embossing powder instead of clear. Clear would have shown it, the white just is opaque and so it covers it. Next, I'm taking some of my Spectrum Noir Sparkle ink, and I'm just going to do I think I ended up doing 5 or 6 of these, and I just do them all at the same time using the same colors. One thing you will notice is I don't have all of the colors that I wanted for this rainbow, plus there's a lot of little circles. So on some of them I used just the pure color. Then I would go up and I would put a little bit more water on my brush and fill in the next circle, and then come back with the next color I was going to use and add a little bit of that in to kind of mix it. That's how I did the orange, and that's how I'll do a few more colors. So I hope that makes sense. Just keep an eye out. Here I have the video sped up twice as fast as normal, so you can see it takes just a little bit of time, but really not a lot. So that mixing of colors I was talking about, I do that straight on the page. I don't mix it off on a palette. On this small of something, your colors aren't going to dry fast enough that you can't color mix on the watercolor paper. So here I'm doing that same thing again, and so many cute colors. Sometimes I forget because I have so many colors that I just pick out the exact color that I want. That I love to color mix. I think you get such really wonderful colors that you don't have. So that's definitely one thing I've learned and have come out of this capsule crafting challenge with is mix colors, have fun, just go for it. So here we go. There, I sped up the video a lot faster. I also wanted to show you that I then just fussy cut out each of these little things. I don't know. I think it's like a border stamp. And I don't think Simon Says Stamp, which is the company that makes this stamp, has a coordinating die. And even if they did, I think their coordinating dies are usually have that border, which I really didn't want on this one. Although I would love a coordinating die with this because I use it all the time. I think it would be super awesome. Anyway, so a couple days later, I had to go on a business travel. So in between that last clip and this one, it was a couple days. But I did have a few ideas while I was traveling on how to use these. And so the first one is what I'm going to show you today. And I decided if I just added a little cloud, that it would just be the perfect happy card. So here I'm just drafting onto some of my masking paper. And this is the Eclipse masking paper. the cloud that I'm going to use. Super simple. Just if you're not sure if you can do it, watch that clip, that like 5-second clip about 3 times and you can do it. No problem. All I'm going to do then is cut with my scissors out this little shape. It was so simple. I'm going to have to do this on some more cards because it was too cute for words. And before I say anything, the colors on this video, I think I've realized that the colors on my videos are just a hair off. So I try in the end photos to really get the real color because I think this color is just a little bit dull. On the real card, the blue is a bit more vibrant. So just take that as you will. Now I'm adding some of this light blue into the sky because I wanted the cloud to pop off. And you'll see it does. It definitely looks like a cloud shape, but it's a little flat. So I decided to take some of those curves and add in some, what would you call that, shadowing. Now I'm using a lighter color, but I hadn't cleaned off my brush, so that first shadow that I made turned out so perfect. And the other shadows didn't quite deepen enough. I should have used the same color that I used on the background for those shadows. Instead, I used a color lighter. So these Spectrum Noir ink pads, they're just lighter, and they have 3 colors, a light, medium, and a dark of each shade. And so I used the lightest shade on it, and I should have used the medium shade that I'd used on the background. It would have just looked better because that first shadow turned out super amazing and the other ones just weren't deep enough. So that was my bad. Definitely something I'll be changing when I do this again because it was so cute that I think I'm going to have to do this again. I think I'm going to do an art journal page using this. I saved all but one. My niece stole one. So one of the little border rainbow pieces. She loved it so much that she was like, I have to have this. Now I'm cutting down the card because it was bigger than the A2 card size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Is that A2 or A4? One of the two. But I cut it down to 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. I had a little bit of fingerprints, so I just added a little bit more of the ink on top to cover that. And then you see I use that Sketched Flowers stamp set to add this smile onto the black. I'm using the Versamark ink pad and some white embossing powder. And I'm just going to emboss it in the exact same way that we did before. All just the same, except for now we're embossing onto black cardstock because I thought that would look real cute. Although, if you weren't doing the capsule collection, you could do a dark blue, which I think would look just as good and might even tie into the card a little bit better. So, easy peasy, just stamped the stamp, poured the embossing powder over, and since I don't have the embossing buddy bag in my capsule collection, I just have to brush those extra pieces away with a dry brush. And it's easy. It is nice because the embossing buddy bag will kind of discolor the black cardstock a little bit, and you have to really wipe that off. So here I'm trying to add in a little bit deeper shadow with my colored pencil, and it works a little bit, but not. I didn't like the texture very much, so I rub it out with my finger because your finger has oils on it, and you're able to break the wax down just a bit and kind of smudge it out. That's what Gamsol and odorless mineral spirits do. They're oils and they break down the wax so that you can kind of smudge out the colored pencil. But for how little of stuff I did, the oil on my finger was fine to just smudge that out and just to get that color moving. Next, I'm going to glue this smile down behind my little rainbow piece, and it went along perfectly with that curve, so I added it to the curve. Then I'm going to take some of this foam adhesive and put it behind there, but put it behind the two pieces. I've glued the black piece straight to the rainbow piece, and then I put foam adhesive behind both. I cut that little sentiment piece down just using a little diagonal line, and I'm going to cut and add a bunch of little foamies to all the little pop outs. After I did this, I think the easier way would be to just cut strips so they cover and go diagonal, just instead of having that one long one and a lot of little ones, just cut the diagonal so it kind of went behind two of those circles. I think that would have been easier, but oh well, it was fine. I was just taking my time. I think my niece, her hands get in here in just a minute because she was at my house that day and was helping me. She's so cute. Anyway, I did cheat. You are seeing me cheat. I grabbed the wrong scissors because my niece had been using these scissors, and I cut the card down with the wrong scissors. My bad. So that was her. Anyway, so I adjusted the saturation on this photo, and this really captures more what the colors of this card are. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you think that this card is super cute, because I definitely did. If you make a card like this, definitely tag me on your Instagram post, because I'd love to see. Here are some other videos you might be interested in. I am not going to be doing this challenge again next month, but I have a lot of fun stuff coming up, so definitely subscribe if you haven't. And have an amazing, wonderful, awesome, crazy, wonderful day. Bye, guys.